I Good afternoon to everyone who are present online in this Google Meet platform. And moreover, I'm very happy to have been associated with IoT Academy. And thanks a lot for giving me this kind of opportunity for me to present a session on entrepreneurship for the upcoming young, dynamic, and other uh, students. Of course, the eligible PGs, UGs, and everyone. And moreover, I welcome on board everybody and thanks for the introduction. And let me tell you before I start, we just go through a couple of things. I think I'm audible. Madam, am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
Yes, that's it. So in my 20 years of experience in the field of management education, I was doing uh, as much as work I can do in all these 20 years, and I'm continuing to do. And moreover, the thing is that when I observe these management students or management education, it is from the day of one, from the day of now, all the trends have been currently changing, and the things were going on in a very technological and very, what I can say that is, they are not one and the same the day before yesterday and the tomorrow. So they are keep on changing. It is that everybody, whoever is opted for the management education, or everybody who wants to become something new, they keep on their preferences, taste, and everything in a very in a changing way. So we can observe one thing is that all this depends upon the one's ideas or one's thoughts or one's mindset, we can say. One thing is that apart from all these things, the only persons that are going to have existence, or the persons are going to have rocking the business field or in this competitive world, are the one is the managers, that is managers at each and every field or in every technical and management education. Yes, dear ones, just I want to tell you one thing before that. Like today's session, we are taking a session on entrepreneurship development and startups. So nowadays, the current trending word is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs, whatever we call them. See, they are the ones who are ruling the world nowadays. See, when in the past we are able to see that we become doctors, teachers, engineers, lawyers, and everything, whatever we want. And we used to study in that manner. We used to go in such a fashion, and we used to adopt all the techniques. We go for some coaching or some Excel in tuitions or somewhere else, and we then are going to opt our own mindset, our own study, and then finally we used to get through that job, or we write some entrance examinations, and then we finally succeed to our level best. And then if we prepare for IAS, we are able to become a group 1 officer in the past. But now the things have changed a lot. Now the things have changed a lot. Everybody has got, due to this technological impact and ongoing trends, new subjects coming into force, and moreover, the digitalization, or we can say it, digital marketing, or moreover, we can say artificial intelligence, okay, and all this design thinking, data sciences, all these things were being changed from the past to the present, and we keep on learning and new things, and this learning, all the points, is very changing. So that's why the people and the society The students in the college, everyone are aiming high. See, if I want my child to be to in past, a father like me wants to have my son studied in just an English medium school or someone else. But now the trend has been changed. We are looking for a good school that can inculcate whatever we are aspiring from the day one onwards. That is, I just want to make my son a businessman. So I want my son to be trained in such skills in all those management skills. So I want to train him since he is from the childhood, since he is from the class one. In that fashion, I am able to think in that fashion, and I am able to move ahead. I am in search of that classroom or that schools which I can join. Like here, so keep on trend. Change is inevitable, and change is everything. Change is only the one weapon or one technique that is being happened or that is being done in present day context. Right. Let me come to the entrepreneurship. So I'll just share my slides. Are you able to see the slides, please?
Yes, sir. The slides are visible, sir.
Yes, fine. Right. Let me go ahead.
So can
So,
you present in slideshow mode, sir?
pardon, madam?
Can you present the slides in slideshow mode, sir?
Slideshow, madam.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Just from beginning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, is it clear, ma'am?
Yes, sir. It is perfect, sir.
Right. So now coming to entrepreneurship development. So first, basically, let us see what is entrepreneurship. Who is an entrepreneur? Who is an entrepreneur? All the new things, the people who make new things happen, they're all entrepreneurs. So let us see the concept before we go in detail about entrepreneurship development. Let us see. According to Judge Bernard Shaw, people fall into three categories. Number one, those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who are left to ask what did happen. And finally, entrepreneurs fall under the first category. Those who make things happen. See, entrepreneurship refers to all those activities which are to be carried out by a person to establish, to run the business enterprises in accordance with the changing social, political, and economic environments. We see here, see, nothing that what is entrepreneurship is nothing but those who make things happen, people who makes things happen, isn't it? Entrepreneurs belong to that category. And entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs, what they do is they do all the activities which are to be carried out by the person and to establish new establishments, new enterprises. But all these things has to be done in accordance with the changing social, political, and economic environments. Moreover, one thing I can say that about economic entrepreneurship, it includes activities also relating to the anticipation of the consumer likes and dislikes, feelings, behavior, taste, fashions, and the introduction of new things, meeting the expectations of the customers, consumers. So when we start as an entrepreneur or when I get into entrepreneurship, I must see that whatever the activities that I'm able to do, that I'm going to start, must be consumer. I must keep in mind about what the consumer likes, what are the dislikes of the consumer, what is the feelings and behaviors of the consumer, what are the taste and fashions of the consumer, and what are the things that are in need for the consumer. All these things I need to go ahead. So before that, what an entrepreneur should have, what an entrepreneur should do. So before knowing the will set of the consumer, what the entrepreneur must have, or what are the qualities I can say, what are the things or what are the skill set or what is the insights that must be incorporated in an entrepreneur is that number one is hard work. As we see on the slide, I'm able to show you that number one is hard work, and number two is business acumen and sincerity. See, hard work nowadays, everyone do hard work. Without hard work, we are not able to. The entrepreneurs are not able to survive. But hard work is must be done at the same time. Apart from the hard work, entrepreneur. But in these digital days, you must have also have the smart work also. So coming to the point, he must also have business acumen and sincerity. And next is prudence. So our next achievement motivation, whatever the things that are going to be there, that is achievement motivation. So definitely I'll say one thing is that motivation, achievement motivation is a necessary essential thing for the entrepreneur. See, entrepreneur must have a strong will for achievement, and then motivation for entrepreneur is really needed. See, the only one thing is motivation is just like what I can say in our normal words or in our day-to-day words. I can say motivation is just like bathing; it must be done every day. So if motivation stops for a while, the things won't go ahead. So motivation not only for a time or one, we need to continue for ever. We need to motivate and go ahead. And the further qualities, further things which an entrepreneur or his development require is self-reliance and independence. An entrepreneur must be self-reliance, right? Self-reliance in the sense that he must be reliable to himself, and then he must have a very, very, very large and comparatively a very sincere and then very independent networks. That is, he don't want to depend on upon anyone. He don't have any pleasures, and he must be feel free to work independently. And finally, highly optimistic. See, this is the most important insight for the entrepreneurship is entrepreneur is highly optimistic. Everything, the content, whatever comes to his for sure, whatever comes to his team or whatever is being checked, that he must be an optimistic to be to solve all those things. And then he must have keen foresight. Foresight is the first and the foremost better quality for an entrepreneur, because if we can't foresight, if an entrepreneur can't foresight, or if an entrepreneur can't forecast what is going to happen, what is going to come amidst in the way, that is not going to be. So foresight, keen foresight, very clear and crystal clear foresight, and then planning and organizing ability. Entrepreneur must and should have planning ability. So if planning is not there, if planning is not there, definitely things won't go further. Definitely for the things is without planning, entrepreneur cannot further. And finally, before maintaining public relations, entrepreneur must have innovativeness. See, he need to sharpen his mind every day. He need to think in a very passionate way. He need to think in a very fashion way, and he need to have very creative ideas, creative thoughts, and based on the needs, likes, dislikes of the consumer society, and all the things. Keeping in mind all these things, he must have a very creative mind. So innovativeness and risk taking in any business, for any entrepreneur or anyone, there is no business without any risk, but he must be able to, an entrepreneur must be able to face the risk, and he must be able to uh, get through the risk and come out of the risk. So likewise, when he get into the race or when he face the risk, he must be able to in a position to troubleshoot the risk also. So if at all, if troubleshooting cannot be done by the entrepreneur, risk is going to uh, make him up and down. And then finally, confidentiality, or we can say secrecy maintenance. It is very, very essential. Whatever the steps or whatever the things he's going to take further, he must be able to maintain very, very, very confidentiality. And at the same time, he must be able to maintain public relations as well. Public relations. So, public relations, while maintaining public relations, he must have very, very good relations, maintaining cordial relations nowadays. We can't let people go in easy manner, or we can't make them um, one, two, three. But we must be able to three. What we must be able to do is we need to maintain good and cordial public relations. See, nowadays all the business enterprises are maintaining good and cordial relations with the consumers or the people. The only thing that they are able to survive is only because of their skills, because of their cordial relations, and because of their good and finally maintaining good and public relations with the consumers. And finally, communication skills nowadays, it's an what I can say, it's a mandatory thing. If we don't have communication skills, that is, communication here in the sense is only one thing. Entrepreneur must and should have, or mandatory should have convincing capabilities. Convincing capabilities to do what is right and what is best and what is good for the consumers. And he must be in a position to convince the public. And next, let us go further. Let us see the types of entrepreneurs. Next, we have seen the qualities of entrepreneurs, and now let us see the types of entrepreneurs. See, on the classification by Mr. Clarence Danoff on the basis of American agriculture, classified entrepreneurs in the following categories. First one is innovative, B, adaptive or imitative entrepreneurs, C, Fabian entrepreneurs, and D is drone entrepreneurs. See here in detail, let us see who are innovative entrepreneurs. This type of entrepreneurs, they are generally aggressive. They were aggressive on experimentation and cleverly put attractive possibilities into practice. So this type of entrepreneur is more interested in introducing some new ideas to the market, some new ideas, some new methods. Every time he want to give something new to the society or something due to the market. He want to introduce a innovative product. He want to bring an into a transformation in the lifestyle and are always interested in introducing innovations. So these are innovative entrepreneurs. And next, adaptive or imitative entrepreneurs. Adaptive or imitative entrepreneurs is uh, do not innovate the changes themselves, but they only imitate the techniques and technology, whatever that is innovated by the others. In disparity, we can just use a common term for them. They are nothing but they are copycats. They are nothing but they are often despairingly referred as copycats. We can say they copy and learn from the innovating entrepreneurs, while innovating entrepreneurs are creative and imitative, and then finally they are very adaptive. These copycats. What they do is they observe an existing successful system and then they replicate in a manner where all the deficiencies of all the original business models are addressed and all efficiencies are retained. These imitating or adaptive entrepreneurs, what they do in general, these copycats, what they do in general is they observe an existing successful system. They observe an existing successful system and replicate in a manner where all the deficiencies of the original business model are addressed and all its efficiencies are retained. These entrepreneurs help to improve an existing product or production process, but can offer suggestions to enhance the use of better technology. So this is about the copycats or imitative entrepreneurs. And next, let us move further about Fabian entrepreneurs. Fabian entrepreneurs, about the third category, Fabian entrepreneurs, they are very, 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 very careful in their approaches and are very cautious in adapting changes. So Fabian entrepreneurs are very, very careful in their approaches. And then finally, they are very cautious in adapting any change. They are not sudden decisions. They are not prone to sudden decisions, but they try to shy away from any innovations or change that does not fit their narrative. So they don't take decisions suddenly, and just they don't want to shy away from any innovations, or they don't want to change what is their whatever that doesn't fit for their narrative. These web entrepreneurs are very, very careful in their approaches and caution and are very cautious in adapting changes. And next is drone entrepreneurs. Drone entrepreneurs, those who refuse to adapt and use opportunities to make changes in production. They would not change the method of production already introduced. They follow the traditional method. They may even suffer losses, but they are not ready to make changes in the existing product production methods. See, drone entrepreneurs are those entrepreneurs who do not like a change, who do not like a change. They are considered as old school people, old school. And then they want to do business in their own traditional or orthodox methods of production and systems. They follow the traditional and orthodox, they just go like that. And then they want to do their business in their own traditional orthodox production and systems. Such people attach pride and tradition to even outdated methods of doing business. So drone entrepreneurs are considered as like old school students who are in the early ages and who are still uh, want to go with the methods of production that has been introduced long time ago. Long so this is about the four types of entrepreneurs, that is innovative, imitating, Fabian, and drone and entrepreneurs. And now let us see about entrepreneur versus entrepreneur. See, what's the basic difference between entrepreneur and the entrepreneur is that entrepreneur is here is independent and the entrepreneur is dependent. And entrepreneur need to be highly educated, and entrepreneur is also highly educated. And entrepreneur need not get any high education. And the entrepreneur need fundraising. Here no fundraising. Here risk bearing. Here no risk bearing. Routine work, specialist, operation from outside, operation from inside. Strong authoritarian and less authority. See, one basic thing we can learn from the entrepreneur and the entrepreneur is that the only thing is he is independent and the other one is the dependent. The former is independent and the latter is dependent. We can see only not so easy things, but education doesn't matter in case of entrepreneur. Only in case of entrepreneur, it is highly educated. Fundraising is there, and here it is no fundraising. But risk bearing, the entrepreneur needs to bear the risk, and entrepreneur he don't want to. It is not possible for him to bear any risk. Here, entrepreneur it is routine work, and here entrepreneur is a specialist. So he is a strong authoritarian, and then here it is less authoritarian. The only thing is that the entrepreneur and the entrepreneur is one. The basic difference we can see here is entrepreneur is strong authoritarian. An authority A strong authority is the entrepreneur, and the intrapreneur is less authority. Let us see the concept of entrepreneurship. See, when you are entrepreneur, you are the boss. Yes. Okay. See, concept of entrepreneur is nothing but it refers to old, old days where we are able to see that whoever emphasis. What is the concept of is entrepreneurship is the only one thing. All the concept of entrepreneurship lies on only one thing is emphasis. The emphasis of is only on developing skills, not starting business. See, the concept of entrepreneurship is nothing but is on developing skills, developing innovative, developing creativity, developing new things, developing the things that were not in the past, things that are uh, advanced, things that are very much useful and that are very, very, very need for the. So the emphasis on entrepreneurship or the concept of entrepreneurship is only one thing that it is on developing skills but not starting business. Of course, we support and encourage those who are passionate about launching the new things or and there are any resources or any things. Rather, their goal is about developing the interdisciplinary skills that lead to the development of an entrepreneurial mindset. Concept of entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur should have a very, very specific state of mind. Entrepreneurial mindset, we must have a specific state of mind which orientates what I can say human conduct towards entrepreneurial activities and outcomes. One thing I can say here is I can stress on the point individuals with entrepreneurial mindsets are often drawn to opportunities, innovation, and a new value creation. Characteristics which include the ability to take calculated risk and accept the realities of change and uncertainty. So, here entrepreneurship mindset refers to a specific state of mind, specific, very, very, very specific state of mind which orientates human conduct towards entrepreneurial activities and outcomes. Let us see the entrepreneurial process. How the entrepreneurial process goes on is number one, the first point is that identifying an opportunity. Identify an opportunity. Second point is establish vision. Third point is persuade others. Fourth, gather resources. Fifth, create new venture. Sixth, change or adapt with time. So these are the things that we are going to see in case of an entrepreneur. See, the entrepreneurial process is nothing but whatever the stages, what are the steps, or what are the way how he can go is first of all the entrepreneur has to identify an opportunity in which direction he can move, or what is the opportunities that is before him to pursue to go ahead, and then in order when he identify that opportunity, he must establish a vision. So he need to have a vision. Without vision, entrepreneur can't succeed. Nowadays, we are able to see many visionary leaders. When visionary leaders are there, only by their vision, only they are able to succeed. Finally, they need to have persuade others. They need to persuade others also. Okay, they need to persuade others. And next thing is they need to gather resources. They need to create venture. They need to have a product or market. And finally, they need to change or adapt with time. They need to go with the change or they need to adapt with the time and tide. So this is an entrepreneurial process we are able to see. And next is Entrepreneurial competencies. What are the entrepreneurial competencies we are or traits we are able to see that? Number one is knowledge. Number two, traits. Number three is the motive and skill. See, what are the traits or competencies an entrepreneur should have is number one, knowledge. Number two, motive. Number three, skill. See, knowledge. Everybody possesses knowledge is good. Entrepreneur possessing knowledge is good. But finally, he must have skill to develop his knowledge, and finally, he must develop his motive. Whatever the motive the entrepreneur has got, that must be transformed into the business or into an action by his skill only. So these are the core competencies, I can say the core competencies of the entrepreneur. So only with the knowledge, entrepreneur cannot do anything. Only if has the motive, he can't do anything. Only with the skill, he can't go ahead. The only thing is transformation of knowledge into motive and then into skill. Then only the things are going to happen. Right? Next. Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Ahmedabad, conducted a study and report that David C. McLean. The core competencies identified are initiative, looking for opportunities, persistence, information seeker, quality consciousness. So initiative, entrepreneur must be in a position to take up any initiative. He must be always in search for opportunities. Opportunities won't come for him. He must search for the opportunity. Entrepreneur go he need to go ahead with the opportunities, finding himself. And persistence. Persistence is the most important thing. He must be entrepreneur should have. And information seeker, he need to gather the information that is very much needed for his development or for the development of his what we can say entrepreneurship or for his business or anything. So and finally, not only information seeking, but also he must be quality conscious. He must be also see what are the things that are there, whether it is of quality or not. Quality conscious is also main one of the important thing that the entrepreneur should take into consideration while while pursuing all these things, while pursuing the core competencies. Quality conscious also plays a very vital role. Committed to work. See, nowadays commitment is most important. Why? Because if we take up any new thing or new start or new business, without commitment, we can't go forward. So entrepreneur must have commitment towards his work and efficiency seeker. Like him, he must also guide the others, working employees whoever are traveling along with him. He must be able to extract the work or extract the efficiency from them. So he must be an efficiency seeker. Proper planning, already we have discussed, proper planning must be there. Planning is the first and the foremost important insight for an entrepreneur. He must be a troubleshooter or a problem solver, we can say. And finally, self-confidence. Entrepreneur must be self-confidence. He must be assertive. He must be persuasive. He must be efficient monitor. He must be employees well-wisher, and he must be effective strategist. And next, entrepreneur versus entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur is a person, but entrepreneurship is a function or process. Entrepreneur here is an organizer. Here, entrepreneurship is an organization. Entrepreneur is an here innovator. The latter it is innovation. Here, motivator, their motivation. Here, leader and leadership. Creator, creation. See, these are the things that we are able to see the basic difference or whatever this the categorical structure between the entrepreneur and the entrepreneurship. And next, let's move further. Here, entrepreneur is a risk bearer, and here is risk bearing. Entrepreneurship is risk bearing. Here, entrepreneur is an initiator, and here it is an initiative. Here he is a visualizer, and here he is a vision. Here is technician. There he follows technology. Is an imitator. Here it is imitation. Administrator and administration. Right. Before we go to startup, we can conclude the entrepreneurship as one thing is still apart from this, there are several. Just I would like to stress on 4 important points. There are broadly four approaches for this entrepreneurship. That is sociological approach, psychological approach, political approach, and a composite approach. Sociological approach is nothing but entrepreneurship which deals with the social and cultural factors responsible for the nature and growth of entrepreneurship development. So, sociologically, in order to develop a society, what are the steps that are going to be taken by the entrepreneur? Second one is psychological approach. Entrepreneur is here not a common person. He has a typical personality with creative, managerial, of course, imaginative skill, who can innovate, contribute positively to an industrial project. This kind of personality develops in a person who has strong motivation for achievements. And third one is political approach. It deals with the issues involved in relation between the entrepreneurship development and the state in which is going to start, particularly in the context of the role of the latter, the development of the entrepreneurs. The role of the government is crucial in deciding the nature and rate of development. Finally, the coming fourth one is composite approach. It is a complex phenomenon. None of the approaches what we have discussed are to able to explain the entrepreneurial dynamics fully, but due to their non-holistic nature, they have failed to offer the precise laws of supply and success of uh, entrepreneurship. So, one thing I can say that it has been observed that entrepreneurial behavior is an outcome of the interplay of multiple social, cultural, economic, political, and psychological factors. See, only one thing I just want to remind you is no single factor is entirely responsible for the supply of successful entrepreneurs. So only one thing is we are able to see it's a complex phenomenon. One word for the entrepreneurship is nothing but it is a complex phenomenon. So all the conditions must be favorable: social, economic, political, technical, for the development of this entrepreneurship and the industry development. And the entrepreneurship alone is going to face many challenges in the upcoming days. So let's go to the second point. Second point after entrepreneurship development, what are the things that have been pursuing is the latest, the recent, the most important, and finally the upcoming things, the trending one, or we can say trending subject that is happening here is in our India or in abroad or anywhere else. We are able to see this. Only one word is uh, being alarmed or being ring everywhere is startups, 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 startups. What are these startups? What are these startups? They are young companies founded to develop a unique product or service, bring it to market and make it irresistible and irreplaceable for customer. The second important point is startups are nothing but they are the engines of economic growth. They are the source of new jobs. They are the source of new jobs, new products, new services. They drive innovation and create wealth. Startups are riskier than established business, but I can say they also have the potential to generate higher returns. The startups are nowadays coming into force, and every learned man, every learned person, they are very much interested in starting up the business. Okay, so they're young companies. They are the young companies founded to develop a unique product or service. The um, I can just tell you one thing is that they are the engines of economic growth. So let us see the equation of startup. See here you are able to see the equation of startup. So one, two, three, four elements are there. See, we are able to see what is the equation of a startup is that new business plus innovation plus technology plus passion. If these four are there, then it is nothing but the startup. So new business, what is the equation of a startup is new business and then innovation. Business includes innovation and that also includes technology, that also include passion. Then only all these things are going to work out. So this is what I can say the simple equation for the startup. And next, let us move further for a startup. They're creating disruption. They are creating disruption. Nowadays, we are able to see all these things. So what are the types of depression disruptions that we are facing or that are being done? We are able to see each and everything. And everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. So India needs more entrepreneur for growth. India, see our country, a vast country or a big country like us, a developing nation like us, needs more and more and more entrepreneurs. And everybody, of course, I wish that all the young men and women who are there in our India, I sincerely request them, urge them, whoever are listening to this, whoever are listening to this session, I sincerely urge and request them is don't rely or don't depend upon the things or don't depend upon other like entrepreneur. You must be strong, authentic. So here startups, I can say, India needs many stuff. So when that are there only, then only they are able to go ahead. And next, this is one thing just I want to share with you. We limit ourselves to a particular domain. See why we limit ourselves to a particular domain, or why we limit ourselves to our own domain. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead further. So what best we can do? What are the other domains that are having opportunities? Let us go and search for them. Let us also seek the information or gather the information and see that not only in our domain, uh, let us also examine the other domains that are very helpful for us to go further. See, remaining in our own domain, it doesn't sometimes can't give us the sufficient opportunities, or it doesn't give us sufficient scope to move ahead. But when we change our domain, definitely that is going to be. See, for example, I'll show you. Some took the initiative to work outside their domain. See, Flipkart, the owner of the Flipkart is an engineer. He changed his domain. An engineer changed his domain to we can say, for a business, for a startup like Flipkart, and then Next point is Alibaba. See the domain here. Who is the entrepreneur who has taken the initiative is teacher, and then Oyo. The owner of the Oyo is a college dropout, and Book My Show. The owner is an MBA. Here, Human is an actor, and Paytm, of course, an engineer. See, they have changed their domains. That is why this engineer, teacher, college dropout, MBA, actor, engineer, all the different category people, different faculty, different disciplined people, different subject disciplined professionals have changed their domain. They took the initiative to work outside their domain. That's why they are today successful in starting them. The only one thing is they have got a strong vision. They got values. They got product and engineering. They got feedback loops. They got resilience. They got source. That's why these people, in spite of their domain, in spite of their initiative to work outside the domain, they have succeeded in all these things. So Flipkart, on par with Amazon, Flipkart is nowadays the best online portal, e-commerce portal for us. And all this OYO, in each and every city or wherever we go, we are able to have that. And Book My Show, Big Human, Paytm, all these things are the regular customary things that are being used by the common people to an excellent one. So everybody is able to do it. So this is the initiative they have taken up to work outside their domain. If they can, why not you? If they can, why not you? So we must be able to do one thing is that we must be able to do all these things. We must be able to do all this. If all other people, if they can take up initiatives and they can go further ahead, why not we as responsible person, or why not we with an enthusiasm, with the particular strong inbuilt capacities? Why can't we? Why can't we go further? Are we lost in life? No. Are we lost about where you should head for nurturing an idea? Definitely. We are not at all lost in life. We are not lost about where we should nurture. Ideas, we got many neurons, definitely will work out. And these are nothing but for startups, we don't want any big things. The only thing we require for startups is very simple. Just only is that only 3 to 4 key elements that we want. In order to start up, in order to start a startup, only the 5 essential elements that what we need is nothing but ideas, team, business model, funding, and then timing. These are all the 5 important points that are very most important for the success for the starting of the startups. And next is before you start your startup, so before you start for startup, what are the things or what are the main concepts that you need to work out is number one, you need to target audience. You need to see the size of users, and then you need to see the business size, and you need to go ahead with the B2B or B2C, and finally competitor analysis. All these things are very essential. And then the only thing is the first point is very important. The first point is very important is that you need to target audience. You need to target audience. The only thing is you need to target audience on the platform that what is the necessities or what are the likes and dislikes, or what is the taste and preferences of the consumer, or what is the what are the new thoughts or what we can say, what actually the customer or consumer wants. Or you can divide the society into segments. When we divide, or if as if you want to start up, you can take particular segment of what are their requirements and what are their wants. Basing on that platform, you need to target them, and you need to start a production that gives a product that facilitates or that satisfies the requirements of that particular segment or all the other segments in the society. So in general, I can say that in yesteryears, only few we are able to go by luxurious cars, or in some metropolitan cities we used to have cabs, or what we can say, taxis that are also just normal taxis and everything. But nowadays, what we are having is Ola cabs, everything. These are all startups. Okay, see, we are able to drive from a major place to a long place, each and every corner of the country, luxuriously, in whichever the vehicle we want, whichever the uh, car we want. See, whether it is an SUV, XUV, or whether it is an RD, whichever, whatever car you want, Kia, whatever car you want, you can go it. You can just hire it. You can go it. See, the audience or the consumers, they have changed their taste. They are, I mean, they are going on in such a direction. They want to have something new, comforts, luxuries, and everything. So basically, a startup owner must target his audience, and finally, he must see the size of users. How many users will be there? Whether the users will be of the same size, or whether the users will be high, or whether what is the size of the users. So how many users can use my product. So all these things have to be bear in mind before we go for a startup. See, size of the users and business size. So whether it is limited to a particular place, whether it is limited to a metropolitan city, or whether it is limited to a uh, other parts of the state, or interstate or intrastate or nationwide or international wide. So we need to see. And next point is B2B, business to business or business to customer. What B2B or B2C we must be able to see. And finally, competitor analysis. This is the first and foremost important factor for the startup owner is that. So what is the competitor doing? Whether our idea, his idea, our creativity, his creativity is being matched, or are we repeating his startup, or he is repeating our startup? We must be able to see. And then what is the analysis we can get through with that competitor or not? All these things we need to finalize, because one thing I can say, because there are six n types of startups. They are, number one is lifestyle startups, small business startups, scalable, viable, large company startups, and social startups. So there are these main types of lifestyle, small business, scalable, viable, large company, and social startups. So before we start this kind of startups, we need to analyze, or we need to have some specific uh, ideas or some specific insights about startup, whether our startup is belongs to lifestyle, whether our startup belongs to small business, whether our startup belongs to scalable, or whether our startup belongs to large company, or whether our startup belongs to social. And startup founders and employees must also, the one more thing just I want to add is, they must pay attention on four components. The startup founders, or the entrepreneurs, or the owners, they must pay attention before they start. They must pay attention towards four things. That is, number one, market acquisition. Number two, human resources. Number three, intellectual property. And number four, efficient capital management. Capital management. So these are the most important things that we need to go through. So next we go ahead is when we start up, when we start a startup or a startup founder should choose the right need. What is the need or what is the need of the customer or what is his need or whether what is the need for the startup founder is nothing but whether it is branding, whether it is idea creation, whether it is storytelling, social media, research, design, e-commerce, development, photography, video animation, content writing, or hosting. You choose the right one. Let the startup owner find himself in finding a right thing for it, a right need for it. Right next, how your senses should work if you become an entrepreneur or a startup owner. See, basically, this is where I found it in somewhere else. Just I prepared for my sake, and just I want to share it with you. So, an entrepreneur or the startup owner, see how his senses should work is his brain. It must be full of ideas, eyes looking for investors and opportunities, mouth it must be communicating the vision, ears listening to the customers feedback, and stomach that must trust your gut, and the heart full of passion. Legs keeps them going in tough time, and feet is that dream high but stick to the ground. Even though we are raised to a peak level, but we must not forget the ground, or we must not forget the stage which we have, where from we have come from. So stick to the ground. So this is the basically an anatomy of an entrepreneur or a startup owner. So in his brain, he must have full of ideas, eyes looking for investors and opportunities, ears listening to customers' feedback, mouth communicating the vision, heart full of passion, stomach trust your gut, legs keeps them going in tough times, dream feet, and finally feet must dream high but stick to the ground. So likewise, beautiful. See, usually there are some mistakes the startup founders they are able to do that is just only just I'll just I'm coming to the conclusion. Just top 10 startup mistakes or mistakes. I can't say that, but they are the errors or they are the some kind of things that need to be avoided in the next future. So that are failing to ask for help, ignoring social media, building something that nobody wants, hiring poorly, lack of focus, fail to execute sales and marketing, not having the right co-founders, chasing investors but not customers, not making sure you have enough money, spending too much money. So these are some erratic errors that startup owners finally face. So these to be avoided. These to be avoided, and finally how the startup go through is there must be idea, launch, growth, and maturity. What are the here I am telling about mistakes, but they are not mistakes. They may be errors, I think so. But on par with the mistakes, what the startup founders must do for the success is that they must be passionate. They must be maintaining a successful business. Is the only one thing they must do hard work, and they must test their concept. Intuition is good, but it's not good enough. Leverage startup programs, creating a business plan, hire poorly, not hire wisely, set up goals, have a well-defined Nike, and then finally beat again. See, six qualities every great startup founder needs is vision, gift, gift and determination, and integrity, coachability, all these things. See, it's all about your mindset. See, here we are able to see two different persons. So, one, I don't want to mention their names because we are very, very, very familiar with these two important persons who are ruling the world. One who ruled out and one is ruling. So it's all about mindset. In case of one who ruled out is inexperienced, over enthusiastic, overconfident, works non-traditionally, style is different. But here, quick learner, works smartly, quick decisions, risk-taking capabilities, thinks out of the box, thinking out of the. So for us also, it's quick learner. We must be entrepreneur or the startup owner must be quick learner, work smart, quick decision, risk-taking capabilities, things out of the box. So finally, I come to the conclusion of the session is that we are all here to see that we are all here to see that only one thing is we have good lessons in the past. So, dear past, thanks for all the lessons, and dear future, I'm ready for the future. So, this is my brief conclusion about the entrepreneur and startups. Only thing is the great startup founders has got vision, grit and determination, integrity, coachability, the ability to recruit and inspire, and they also need reliable partners. If they don't have reliable partners, also they are unable to succeed. So apart from that, two more things that I can say that a startup can be typically done in five stages when it is looking for funds, ideation, validation, early traction, scaling, and exit. See, what is actually a startup concept is nothing but uh, the company in the initial stage of business, what it requires before they got off the ground. Funding sources, friends, families, venture capitalists, crowdfunding, and loans. See, do we already know the purpose of startup? A startup is nothing but the first stage of operations, first stage of cover one or more entrepreneurs. The primary aim is to answer market demand by creating new and innovative products or services. So the primary objective of a firm venture startup is to grow the new venture and make it sustainable profit business. Finally, let me conclude with the summary of the startup. Summary of the startup is nothing but a startup summary is nothing but it business plan includes the description of your products and services. Actually, maybe the structure of your business, your target market, marketing strategy, funding requirements, financial projections, licensing requirements, among others. It serves as a roadmap for your business. So, at the in the conclusion, I can say that the only thing is that I stress on a point that young generation, whoever are now coming across or coming completing their education, they just I request them don't look for government jobs or don't look for other. Of course, I don't say that you prepare for the competitive exams. Well and good, you prepare for service commissions and all those things. Everything is good and right. I agree, but I sincerely urge and I sincerely request and I sincerely give my advice to all the upcoming generation is that so this is the world where it has a big opened big doors to all the people who are very passionate towards learning new things. So The world is open, world is geographically big, and then not only geographically, physically, mentally, technologically, digitally. The only thing is nowadays digitally. You can sit work from home. You can sit here and you can do something else. You can create wonders. You can do miracles. You can do something that can't be done by others. See the young generations. You see, if we go on reading articles, we are able to see newspaper and all these business articles everywhere. In and a small boy from a small village has done this. A small young guy from a poor family has done this. A small, just a graduate guy from a nook and corner of the India has started this. Has done this. Likewise, we are able to see nothing. I can say that nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop. We can do wonders if we have. We can think out of the box. We can think creative. We can think innovatively, and we don't want imitating others. We don't want to be with Fabian, or we don't want to be something else. We just want to be innovative. See, lots a lot of scope is there for the generation, young generation. See, all the people who are coming in the are coming across in this world big enough is they are from the small and medium range level. That is there, but not the only thing is they are not any from a bigger family, just they are coming from a small background, and they are with their ideas, with their creativity, with their ideas, innovativeness. They are heading and they are doing wonders in the society, and they are not only fulfilling the responsibility of the society, but also they are doing great job. They are fulfilling corporate social responsibility. They are doing one and only doing new things for the society. See, make up India, make in India, all this, whatever Prime Minister's vision, what is our nation's vision. India is a great motherland, I think. It's true. Not I think it's our motherland. India is good. India is in need of great entrepreneurs, great startup owners like us. So we being the Indian, we being born and brought up in Indian, everywhere in the world, even the British, Canada, Australia, America, everywhere the only technical persons are technical persons that are fit, and they are whoever they are working in other nations, very technically sound, fit person sound. They are nothing but our Indians only. We got our Indians playing a vital role in all other parts of India. So if our Indians can do wonders in all other parts of the world, why can't we change our India? Why can't we improve our India? Why can't we bring many more startups? And why can't we do some wonders by creating, by getting a platform, by doing something new for the society and as well? So this is my conclusion, and I thank all the participants. I wish you all the best. Wish you all the best, and I look forward. All the participants, please share this word, share this content to all the upcoming generations in your circle. See, give top priority to all the new thinkers, that is young, dynamic, creative, innovative minds. Let us encourage them. Let us feel it as a responsibility, and let us encourage them. Let us encourage them, and then let us build a great nation. Let us build up our own motherland, our India. So India is great. Only one thing, Mera Bharat Mahan. India is great. So let India be a hub of startups, a hub of entrepreneurship, hub for something new, not the other nations. Let's make our nation strong with our young, dynamic, and creative thoughts and ideas. At the outset, At the end, I thank the IoT Academy personals, uh, Madam Garu, and all the team who has given me this opportunity to share something which I know to all the participants, and I thank from the bottom of my heart to IoT Academy directors and all the team members. And also, I wish you all the best for all the participants who are online on this platform today. Yes, yes, I conclude here. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you for this opportunity.